As humans, we have become wired to being dissatisfied with what we have, and we have become addicted to buying more and more stuff. This culture of consumerism is being forced into you through advertisements, magazines, movies, and social media. This illusion of what a perfect life should be like, including what stuff you should own, is paraded in front of you constantly. If you open up a magazine or scroll through your Instagram, Facebook, Twitter feed, you will see celebrities, very attractive men and women, living seemingly glamorous lives, wearing expensive clothes, expensive jewelry, and driving expensive cars. And most people start to view that as a measure of success. They begin working to attain that same lifestyle, not knowing that it is mostly made up of filters, Photoshop, fakery, product placements. You become victim to the keeping up with the Joneses effect, where you feel you need to have what other seemingly wealthy, successful people have just to fit in. Advertising and the consumer mentality has infiltrated our culture. It's in our movies, it's in our phones, it's in our music, and in our stores. You are encouraged to stay addicted to buying new things, buying more stuff, spending more money. Everything you buy, from the clothes you wear to what coffee maker you have, has now been intertwined with social value and fashionability. People are now researching the most popular and fashionable brands to buy from on places like Google, YouTube, or Reddit before making any purchase, both online and offline. Not only because they want to get the highest quality product, but because they want to see which brands are most popular and therefore seen as the most desirable to get. In certain cultures, like in Asia, where conformity has been ingrained into people's subconscious, this is even more prevalent. As a result, brands have started to introduce planned obsolescence into their products to force you to buy more stuff from them. They recognize that high-quality materials and long-lasting performance isn't what is important anymore. What's more important to them is to convince people that their products are popular and desirable through advertisements, social media, and marketing, convincing people that it's not about what the product can do for you, but what feelings the products can bring us. The feeling of becoming wealthy, feeling content, feeling powerful, feeling beautiful, and desired. To attain these things, people start chasing more and more money, wanting to get a bigger promotion, wanting to get a better car, wanting to get a better house, wanting new and better clothes. Nowadays, everyone in school and on social media talks about their desires to have a six-figure income, because having over $100,000 a year income is what is portrayed as normal on social media and TV. And to attain this, people work their entire lives, compromising their time, their health, their morals, and their well-being to achieve this image of success, working their way through school, working multiple jobs to earn a living, and then filling their free time with social media, TV shows, and movies to relax. Others resort to medicating themselves with alcohol and recreational drugs just to cope. But what happens after you land your dream job? After you start to earn the six figures? What do you do when you have everything you're supposed to have? The money, the cars, the house, but it's still not enough. When you have everything you ever wanted, everyone around you says to you that you are successful, but inside you still don't feel satisfied. What do you do when you still feel that gaping void in your life? What do you do when you look around you and you see what looks like very successful men and women with lots of money and prestige and professional experience, but yet are still unhappy with their lives? Most people try to fill that void with stuff. Material purchases, getting that next dopamine hit by purchasing new things like buying the newest iPhone, getting the newest Xbox or PlayStation, getting a new PC, laptop, or monitor, buying a newer car, new shoes, new clothes. But just like when you get a brand new car, the first few months are exhilarating. You fall in love with it, smile every time you see it, enjoy the experience when driving it around. The dopamine hit is triggered and it makes you happy, but that thrill never lasts. After some time, you get used to driving the car around and the initial enjoyment fades. Then your brand new car just becomes another car. If you're driving it around for several years, you may start to look at other newer cars, faster cars, more modern cars, and start to desire those instead, looking to replace your once new car with a newer, faster model that you see on TV. The same goes for everything else in your life. You're always chasing the next dopamine hit. It could be an immense feeling of dissatisfaction from living this way. And this is also why so many lottery winners are still miserable, even after winning millions of dollars. Global research has shown that if you make below $70,000 a year income, adding greater material well-being increases psychological well-being. But anything above $70,000, studies have shown that no amount of money will increase your psychological well-being. You can have more money, but you will never be happier, therefore proving that money can't buy happiness. Jim Carrey once said, "I wish everyone could become rich and famous so they could realize that it's not the answer. Money can buy you a house, but can't buy you a home. Money can buy you food to put on your table, but can't buy you an appetite. Money can buy you one of the most finest mattresses in the world, but can't buy you sleep." Matthew 6:19 says, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal." What that means is that you should not focus on saving money and collecting expensive things here on earth, but instead focus on storing up spiritual treasures in heaven. But how do you build spiritual wealth? When we live sacrificially for Jesus Christ's sake, or serve Him by serving the body of Christ, we store up treasures in heaven. Even the small acts of service do not go unnoticed by God. In Matthew 10:42, it states, "If anyone gives even a cup of cold water to one of these little ones who is my disciple, truly I tell you, that person will certainly not lose their reward." Anytime you spread the word of Christ, give tithes and offerings, anytime you pray for others, and when you endure insults or prosecution for your beliefs in Jesus Christ, you will be eternally rewarded in heaven when you die. No small deed will go overlooked. As you get older and are faced with your mortality, especially when you are on your deathbed, you quickly realize how meaningless money is. All of the money you spent your entire life saving becomes meaningless because money can't buy you more time on earth. Money can't buy you more time with family. Money can't buy you back your health. You can't take your money with you, so you must give it all away, usually by signing a will. All of your possessions become meaningless. All of your homes and cars become meaningless. Only thing that matters then is time. When you're about to die, you never regret that you didn't make more money. The only regrets you have are that you didn't spend more time with the people who matter. Time with your family, with your husband or wife, time with your mom and dad, time with your children and friends. So cherish your loved ones, cherish your time, focus on what really matters, live your life to the fullest, and serve Christ faithfully to collect your treasures in heaven, because that is what will last you even after death. I pray this message will reach your heart and soul in Jesus Christ's mighty name. Amen.